This is a quick video for EAN4, right? I know that some of you are struggling with this. Okay, so EAN4 is measuring drying space. So in order for, so I want you to kind of lay it out, like I think I gave you something for, I can't remember which one it was, EAN3, a kind of a layout, right? So they get that same idea of aim and so on. Okay, now you will need to do a sort of investigation for this. And so you're going to have a methodology, okay? And you're going to need to mention the risk assessment, right? So it depends where your washing line is. Is it internally or external or both, right? And then you're going to have a decent, let's see, the apparatus you need. So you just need a measuring tape, and you might need something to stand on to measure things. Okay, so include that in a risk assessment if you do. Obviously, a measuring tape is the main thing. And you also will need to take photos, okay, as evidence. So this is what I suggest you do for your results or your survey data. So let's say it's the survey, okay? So your survey, remember you set this up before you actually go, right? So you have this really comprehensive, it doesn't matter what you actually have in your house. So let's have a look at the kind of thing that your survey table or your survey results will have. So first thing, just we'll come back to assessment criteria in a minute. So you're looking for, depending on how many bedrooms you have, you're looking for either 4 meters of drying line or 6. And the drying space must be secure. Now we need to have a look at that. So these are things that you need to consider. So at the very end, we'll come back to that. Right, now demonstrating compliance. So your table, now I'd say you'd probably do a better table than me, but I'm just going to give you a basic idea of the kind of thing you would have. So you would have drying line, if you like, drying space, let's call it that. Drying space, things they have. Okay, and you're going to have internal and external. Now remember, you're pretending like this, it doesn't matter whether you actually have any or all of these, right? Because you're going to have different specifications for both of them. So the first thing to, now just look at what they're doing. So that's the location. Is it internal or external? And you just tick, okay? So, or you could just leave it. Details, location, and ventilation. So this is only going to apply to the internal. So you just put NA here, okay? And I think actually the first bit here is length of line. So this is you'd measure. So say there's say none or not applicable, right? Okay, so that would be the way of showing that you don't have one. Then external, say measured it as 5.3 meters, you know, whatever it is. Okay, ventilation. Again, it's not going to be just looking at the Code for Sustainable Homes. Ventilation is only for internal, and just look at what they want, okay? The drying space, right? Controlled intermittent extract ventilation. So an extractor fan, and it must achieve a minimum extract rate of 30 litres per second and be controlled according to requirements of intermittent blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, so now whether it is or not, okay, you can just pretend it is or it isn't. Okay, so ventilation, yes, just say yes, but not yes, compliant. Right, or yes, not compliant, or no. Okay, or no. Okay, so put something in there and refer to page whatever it is in the Code for Sustainable Homes, or you can give more details. Say, you know, you can make up an extract rate. Compliant extract rate is greater than 30 litres per second. Okay, whatever. And you want to refer to that ADF, which I think they have somewhere, but I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head, right? Just refer to it. Okay, other things they're looking for here is length. Okay, so we've got that. Location. Oh yes, and you want a photo, I should say. Put a photo of evidence. Okay, so in this one, I suggest in your table you put photos as evidence, because really that would be really good, because that's details, location of ventilation, length of drying, details of lock. Okay, lock specification. So part of this is that you need a secure space, okay? So again, you have a particular lock that you need, and it has to conform. If we go down here, it has to conform to It has to be a permanent mortise deadlock or mortise sash lock that conforms to that. Now, you can check, take a photo. If you think it does, take a photo of it. The BS is British Standard, and that should be on the lock itself. That should actually give you, so that's up to you to check what kind of lock. Now, it would be like a side gate lock if it's your house, or like, I think they're thinking of internal space as a garage, say, that you have a line up in a garage, or you have a utility room or something like that, where you have an internal drawing line. Okay, so lock specification. And again, if you have one, you would give conforms to BS, whatever it was, British Standard, whatever. Okay, and photo. Okay, or does not conform, and put a photo in as well. So anything evidence-wise. And external, do the same, or say not applicable if there's not. Okay, lock specification. Right, so the next thing to look at is, what else does your drawing space need? What have I got here? Yes, photos. You could have location and then put a photo and say where it is, right? Now, just be aware, okay, that you have, and you could include a description, it's up to you. Now, the thing to note is that it cannot, the internal space cannot be in a sort of living room. Now, where the hell is it? Let me just have a look. Okay, so if we go to the code for sustainable homes, I've taken that. So a heated out building can be secure space. There is something here about it not being in bedrooms, kitchens. There's the ADF approved document F1. You're welcome to have a look at it, although I think you shouldn't. I don't know if you should bother. Darn, there is something about bedrooms here. So yeah, just check that. You see where it says external secure space with access restrict to occupants of the dwelling. That would be like if you lived in a block of flats. You'd have to sort of mention that there's shared drawing space. Assessment methodology. Oh, maybe I made it up in my mind. I can't find that. Okay, anyway, put the locations there. And then once you have your, so let's see. Okay, so you've got that. And you've got, let me see, I think that's all I've got, right? So that is going to be your survey report. And then once you have that, you can decide the credits. So conclusion or credits awarded. So there's only one or none, right? One, and you could say yes, like so make that in part of your table. Yes, external, there's a minimum of 6 meters of external washing line that meets the criteria outlined on page whatever, right? So it's compliant. Okay, hopefully that helps you to do EAM 4.